If Europe in the 1800s was defined by the Industrial Revolution, railroads were the most prominent symbol of this time of great change. And with the advent of the steam engine and the development of a system of rails, goods and people could be transported quickly and cheaply. Now, before the Industrial Revolution, while moving passengers and freight was relatively efficient across bodies of water, transportation across land was inefficient and expensive. Canals made carrying freight easy, but building the canals and the locks needed to take them over large changes in elevation were very expensive. Now, the coaches and wagons also used for overland transport were slow and uncomfortable, and they required a system of acceptable roads and businesses to provide food and lodging for the coachmen, horses, and passengers. In 1698, Thomas Savery built a steam-powered pump whose design would influence Thomas Newcomen and then James Watt. As each new generation of steam engines were developed, they became more efficient, moving more and more weight with less and less fuel. It was in 1801 that Richard Trevithick was able to take advantage of this technology and invent the first steam-powered vehicle. Now, while the engine worked well, it was limited by the condition of the early 19th century roads. So the brilliant solution to this was to run the vehicle on a purpose-built track, and thus the railway was born. Now, vehicles had been traveling on purpose-built tracks since the time of the Greeks. However, when Trevithick's vehicle was placed on a purpose-built track, the railway was born. And this design was further developed by George Stephenson, and he built railways and engines to haul coal over short distances near mines. Now, his Locomotion 1 train was hooked to a number of specially designed carriages and used to transport passengers from Stockton to Darlington in England in 1825. Within 4 years, the Liverpool to Manchester rail line was operating and carrying over 1,000 passengers a day between the cities. Now, the locomotive used by the L&MR was the Rocket, and this was designed by George Stephenson's son, Robert. It was capable of a top speed of a dazzling 30 miles per hour, and the Rocket was a roaring success, despite the fact that it ran over and killed politician William Huskisson on the first day of operations. Within 2 decades, lines extended the length and breadth of England, with locomotives chugging along at a whopping speed of 50 miles per hour. And trips from Manchester to London, which had taken over 80 hours by coach, could now be made in 8. During this time, there were still engineering challenges for the growing railway industry. Tunnels, overpasses, and bridges had to be built, and for a time, the quality of the iron and tracks limited the full potential of trains, particularly in traveling up steep grades. However, Henry Bessemer invented a process for producing better steel rails and moss that allowed trains to be heavier, more powerful, and faster. Now, the other challenge to developing rail travel was the Great Gauge War. As most railways developed independently, they used different gauges, that is, the distance between the rails on the track. And this caused passengers who traveled long distances to have to disembark when they traveled from areas serviced by one railway to areas serviced by another. Now, there was another solution to this, and that was building redundant tracks of different gauges along particular areas. However, this problem was finally solved by an act of Parliament that decided on a uniform gauge in 1846. Interestingly, 2 centuries later, this continues to be a problem, with different European countries still requiring different gauges. The increase in railways brought both benefits and costs. Building railways and the subsequent increase in the consumption of coal caused an explosion in the number of labor and mining jobs. There were vast construction projects needed to support the railways, as well as jobs such as engineers, station staff, porters, cooks, and drivers, and this caused a huge boom in employment. However, smoke that the coal-burning engines belched into the air also led to some of the worst air pollution that Europe had ever seen. Now, with the advent of the railroads, factory owners could also build their factories without being restricted to sites that were either near coal fields or water. And the manufacturers didn't need to warehouse the large inventories of supplies and goods, and they could invest more in production rather than storage. The labor force could also now live further away from their places of employment, and the concept of the suburbs and commuters was born. Now, in many ways, the rapid rise of railways is mirrored today by the changes wrought by personal computers and the internet. In both cases, the pace of technology advanced at a dizzying level, and the social, psychological, and economic implications completely changed the world in only about 4 decades. And in both situations, the transportation of people, goods, and information has increased at an exponential pace, and in both cases, the world has become a much smaller place. Now, Ticket to Ride Europe was published in 2005 by Days of Wonder, and its designer was Alan Moon, and it was a re-implementation of Ticket to Ride, which came out in 2004. Now, to set the game up, each player receives a set of 45 colored train cards and a matching set of 3 colored train stations, as well as a corresponding scoring marker. And the scoring markers are placed at the start of the scoring track, and they'll advance as the player scores points. You also shuffle the train cards and deal a starting hand of 4 cards to each player, and then you place the remaining deck of train cards near the board and turn the top 5 cards of the deck face up and lay them one next to each other in a row. You then take the deck of destination tickets and you separate the long routes, which are the 6 destination tickets with a blue background, from the regular routes. You shuffle the long routes and you randomly deal one of these to each player. You then take the remaining long routes and put them back in the game box without letting anyone see them. Now you shuffle the regular destination tickets and deal 3 to each player. And you place the remainder in a draw pile face down next to the board. Before taking their turn, players have to choose which destination tickets they will keep from among those that they've initially been dealt, and each player has to keep a minimum of 2 tickets, although they may keep more. You then put the destination tickets you wish to discard back in the game box without letting any of the other players see them, and these tickets may be either long routes or regular routes. And the tickets you decide to keep are held until the end of the game. Now, the object of the game is to score the highest total number of points, and points are scored by 1. Claiming a route between 2 adjacent cities on the map, 2. Successfully completing a continuous path of routes between 2 cities listed on your destination tickets, 3. Completing the longest continuous path of routes to win the European Express bonus card, or 4 for each train station kept in reserve at the end of the game. Now, points are deducted from the player's total score for each destination ticket that are not successfully completed by the end of the game. You can then choose a player to start at random, and then play proceeds clockwise. Now, on their turn, a player has to perform one and only one of the following 4 actions. The first thing they can do is draw train car cards. Now, they can draw 2 train cards when drawing regular train cars, and they can only draw 1 if it's a face-up locomotive, and we'll talk about locomotives in a little bit. The second thing they can do during a turn is claim a route, and the player claims a route on the board by playing a set of train cards from their hand that match the color and quantity of the spaces that make up the route. They then place one of their colored trains on each space, and they score the number of points indicated on the route scoring table for that route's length. They can also draw a destination ticket, and the player draws 3 destination tickets from the ticket deck, and they can have to keep at least 1 of them. Or 4th, they can build a train station, and the player can build a station in any city that doesn't yet have one. To build their first train station, the player plays 1 train card of any color and places one of their train stations on that city. Now, to build their second station, a player plays a set of 2 cards of the same color, and when they build their third station, a set of 3 cards of the same color. Now, there are 8 types of regular train cards in quantities of 12 each and 14 locomotive cards. And the colors of each train card match the colors of various routes between cities on the board. There's purple, blue, orange, white, green, yellow, black, and red. And if a player chooses to draw train cards, they draw 2 cards per turn. Now, either of these cards can be drawn from the 5 face-up cards next to the board or from the top of the deck, which is a blind draw. And if drawing a face-up card, the player must immediately replace it with a new card taken from the top of the draw pile. If a player selects a face-up locomotive card, it's the only card they can pick up this turn. And locomotives are essentially wild cards. Now, if at any time 3 of the 5 face-up cards are locomotives, all 5 cards are immediately discarded and 5 new cards are turned face-up to replace them. Now, a player can have any number of cards in their hand at any time, and when the draw pile is exhausted, the discards are simply reshuffled into a new draw pile deck. Now, one warning here is that the cards need to be shuffled thoroughly, since they'll usually have discarded sets in them. Now, in the unlikely event there are no cards left in the deck and no cards available to shuffle as a result of players hoarding cards in their hands, a player will not be able to draw train cards, and they must then claim a route, draw destination tickets, or build stations. Now, as I mentioned before, locomotives are multicolored wild cards, and they can be played along with any set of cards when claiming a route. They're also vital to claiming ferry routes, which we'll talk about. And if a face-up locomotive card is picked during a card draw, it's the only card that can be drawn that turn. Now, if a locomotive is turned over as a replacement for a first card drawn during the turn, or if the locomotive is available face up, but not picked up as the first and only card, it cannot be selected as a second card. However, if a player is lucky enough to get a locomotive from the top of the deck in a blind draw, it still counts as a single card, and they can still draw a total of 2 cards that turn. Now, a route is a set of continuous colored spaces. In some instances, these can be gray spaces between 2 adjacent cities on the map. And to claim a route, a player has to play a set of train cards whose color and quantity match the color and number of spaces on the chosen route. Now, most routes require a specific set of color cards to claim them, and locomotives always act as a stand-in for any given color. Now, routes that are gray can be claimed using a set of cards of any one single color. When a route's claimed, the player places one of their plastic trains on each of the spaces of the route, and all the cards from the set used to claim the route are then discarded. The player then immediately records their score by moving their scoring marker the appropriate number of spaces along the scoring track. Now, the players can claim any open route on the board, and they're never required to connect to any of their previously played routes. Now, a route must be claimed in its entirety during a single turn. For example, you cannot lay 2 trains on a 3-space route and wait for the next turn to lay the 3rd train. And you can also claim no more than 1 route per turn. You'll notice here that some cities are connected by double routes, and these are routes whose spaces are parallel and equal in number from one city to the other. Now, one player can never claim both routes between the same cities during the course of the game. Now, also note that there's routes that are partially parallel to each other, but they're linked to different cities, and those are not double routes. Now, in a 2 or 3 player game, only one of the double routes can be used, and a player can claim either of the 2 routes between cities, but the other route is then closed to the other player for the remainder of the game. Ferries are special gray routes linking 2 adjacent cities across a body of water, and they're easily identified by the locomotive icon featured on at least one of the spaces marking that route. And to claim a ferry route, a player must play a locomotive card for each locomotive symbol on the route, and the usual set of cards of the proper color for the remaining spaces of the ferry route. Tunnels are special routes that are easily identified by the special tunnel marks and outlines surrounding each of their spaces. And what makes a tunnel special is that the player's never quite certain just how long the route that they're trying to claim will be. So when attempting to claim a tunnel route, a player first lays down the number of cards required by the length of that route. Then the 3 top cards from the train draw pile are turned face up, and for each card revealed whose color matches the color of the cards played to claim the tunnel, an additional card of the same color or a locomotive has to be played from their hand. Only then can the player successfully claim the tunnel route. And if the player does not have enough additional train cards of the matching color or does not wish to play them, then they have to take all their cards back in their hand and their turn ends. Now, at the end of the turn, the 3 train cards revealed to the tunnel are simply discarded. And remember that locomotives are multicolored wild cards, and as such, any locomotive card drawn from the top of the train draw pile during an attempt to go through a tunnel will automatically match the color of the train cards played on the route and force the player to play an additional card. Now, if a player attempts to go through a tunnel using locomotive cards exclusively, they will only have to play additional cards, which must be additional locomotives in this case, if locomotives show up among the 3 cards drawn for the tunnel. In the rare event where there's not enough cards available in the draw and discard piles to reveal 3 cards and determine the effect of the tunnel on the player, then only those cards that are available are revealed. And if this is a result of players hoarding cards and there are none to be revealed, a tunnel can be claimed without risking additional cards. A player can use their turn to draw additional destination cards, and to do so they draw 3 new cards from the top of the destination ticket deck. If there are less than 3 destination tickets left in the deck, the player only draws the cards that are available. And a player drawing cards has to keep at least 1 of them, however they can choose to keep 2 or 3. And any drawn ticket not kept in their hands placed on the bottom of the destination ticket deck. Any ticket that's drawn and not immediately discarded has to be kept until the end of the game, and unlike Ticket to Ride, they can't be discarded during a later ticket draw. Now, the cities listed on a destination ticket represent travel goals for the player, and they can result in a bonus or penalty if by the end of the game, a player has created a continuous path of their color plastic trains between the 2 cities named on the destination ticket that they hold. And in this case, they score the additional points indicated by the point value of the ticket. Now, if they failed to complete a continuous path between those 2 cities, they deduct the point value of the ticket from their total score. And destination tickets are kept secret from other players until the game's final scoring. Now, a train station allows an owner to use one and only one of the routes belonging to another player to build the route that's indicated on a destination ticket. The station does not allow the player to travel across multiple links belonging to another player, even if they are connected together. And stations can be built on any unoccupied city, even if it currently has no claimed routes into it. Now, 2 players can never build a station in the same city, and each player may build a maximum of 1 station per turn and 3 stations throughout the course of the game. Now, to build their station, a player plays and discards 1 train card from their hand and places one of their colored train stations on the chosen city. To build a second station, the player has to play and discard a set of 2 cards of any one color, and to build their third, a set of 3 train cards of any one color. And as usual, you can replace any number of these cards by locomotives. And a player is never required to build any stations. At the end of the game, for each station a player has not used, 4 points are added to their score. Now the game ends when one player's stock of colored plastic trains gets down to 2 trains or less. At that point, each player gets a final turn. After this, the game ends, and the players calculate a final score. Now, when calculating scores, players should have already accounted for the points they've earned as they completed various routes. And to make sure no mistakes were made, you may want to recount the points for each player's routes. Players will then reveal all of their destination tickets, and the value of successfully completed tickets is added to their total score, and the value of any incomplete tickets is deducted from their total score. And remember that each station played allows its owner to use one and only one route belonging to another player into that city for the purpose of completing a destination ticket. If a player uses the same station to help connect cities on paths of several different tickets, they have to use the same route into or out of that city with the station for all tickets. You then add to the score 4 points for each unplayed station that the players still have in reserve. Finally, you give the 10-point bonus for the European Express to the player who has the longest continuous path on the board. And when evaluating path lengths, you only take into account continuous lines of plastic trains of the same color. And a continuous path can include loops and pass through the same city several times, but a given plastic train can never be used twice in the same continuous path. Stations and their opponents' routes don't count for the purpose of computing these paths and claiming the longest route. Now, if several players are tied for the longest path, they each receive 10-point bonus for the European Express card. And at this point, the player with the most points wins the game. Now, if 2 players are tied, the player who's completed the most destination tickets is the winner, and if they're still tied, the player who's used the least number of stations is declared the winner. Hey folks, welcome back, and this is Ticket to Ride Europe. And I think I've got everything set up here. I've got my draw pile here. I've got 5 cards, which we're going to flip in just a little bit when we get the game started down here. And in this version, we're going to have red versus blue. I'm just keeping it to 2 players just to keep things simple so I can show you a playthrough. I've pulled the cards up, and each side has gotten one of these long cards and 3 of the short cards. So let's go ahead. Start with blue, flip them, and looking over this, blue can choose these cards. Now they have to keep 2 of them. They don't necessarily have to keep the long ones though. So we've got Brest, Petrograd. That's the long one here. So that's not too bad. Worth 20 points. London to Berlin. That's a pretty short one, and then Marseille to Essen and Berlin to Roma. I think I'm going to keep these 2, and we'll get rid of the Marseille to Essen and the Berlin to Roma. Okay. Red. Let's see what red's got. Now this Vassal Module, occasionally the cards will kind of mess up, so bear with me when that starts to happen. But okay, Palermo to Moscow. Palermo way down here to Moscow. You got this big tunnel. There's a lot of points in that, but you do have to. That is kind of a hard one to get. Amsterdam to Pamplona, Brussels to Danzig. We've got those 2. Man, none of these are looking great. I'm going to get rid of this one. And I'm going to keep the other 3. That's a lot of points to blow. But, well, this is a little bit out of the way. Although if I went up Palermo to Moscow, Amsterdam, I could go to Palermo, up to Amsterdam, and then across to Brussels to Danzig. It's not a great. Let's go with it. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So that's red. We're going to say red's going to start play. We're going to flip these. And, got 2 locomotives. So red's going to go ahead. Always draw a locomotive if you can. That's kind of my modus operandi. And since it's in the draw pile, or it's in the those 5 draw cards, you can only draw that 1. So we'll flip and get a blue card. Okay, and then blue goes. Now the first dozen or so draws will just end up being these straight draws. You're not going to get a lot of action out of that, and we'll draw. Okay. We retire to red. I wish this had a solitaire mode. It doesn't have one. I've tried to go into Vassal and change that. I'm not good enough for Vassal to make that change, but let's see. Now with the Palermo, could be really important down here. So we could already get this Palermo one down. Let's draw 2 cards from the draw pile. And we'll flip those, and we get 2 yellow. Okay, that works. That actually works pretty well for us. Okay, blue. Blue's going to draw. Now, blue's looking at London to Berlin, Brest to Petrograd. Petrograd's way up there. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and draw these 2. And then we'll pull these and flip them. And we go back to red. Now red is going to go, and I'm already going to play for red because I want to start Palermo to Brindisi. So red's going to go Palermo and Palermo and Palermo, and then Brindisi. We're good. Now, I'm going to leave these little cards here. Sometimes I think it's a little easier for you guys to see if I just leave them kind of cross-hatched here. Plus, it's going to save me a lot of time. So we can discard, discard, and discard. And that's 3, and that's 4 points. So red makes 4 points. Okay, let me get a chug of coffee here. Okay, and blue gets to go. Now blue, I'm going to pull 2 cards. And maybe make this a little smaller here. We'll just get them all arranged here a little better so we can see. Yeah, you kind of have to hoard cards at the beginning of the game, and then things will start to pick up. Okay, red goes. We'll draw 2. Interesting point, is this a better game than the original Ticket to Ride? I don't know. I think it's a little more complex. Not that either of these is really super hard games, but it is undo that. It is a little more complex. I think it does give you a few more options that aren't quite so luck-based. It's not just gin rummy with trains, or rummy, I guess, with trains. Yeah, to me, this always feels like a rummy game with trains just being used as a scoring system. This actually adds a little more dynamics with the ferries and the stations and stuff. And I'm going to draw 2. Okay. Red will go. Yeah, if this had a solitaire mode, I wouldn't have to be clicking up here on the retire every time. So, let's see. Red. I think I'll go ahead and draw. Okay, maybe we got a locomotive. Okay, and blue will draw. And I think with blue, I'm going to go ahead and draw these 2. For some reason, there doesn't seem to be as many black cards in this. I know that's just my imagination, but it doesn't feel like it. Feels like to get these black connections is always tough. Okay, red. Let's see where we're at. Now I have kind of signaled here that there may be issues, and I think a good a good blue player could start to block. If they had the white, they could block those. Let's do that. Let's just pretend. Let's see here. I forgot what I was doing. I guess I need to pull these two. Pull them. Derp. Hope I didn't lose track. I get to thinking about other stuff, and then I lose track of where I'm at. Maybe I'm getting Alzheimer's or something. Okay. And that's red. And then we go to blue. Blue is going to make a... Is there anything on the Brest to Petrograd? Yeah, there is. Go here. Oh, and then I get to draw one more card. Flip. They got a green card. Okay. And then we retire to red. And red is going to play these two white cards. So we're going to play white and white. Oops, I didn't get one here. There, that's better. So these two whites are going to be Roma to Brindisi. And we'll put those two there. That's worth 2. So 2 goes to 2 points. Okay. And send these to the discard pile. Now let's retire to blue. And got a choice. I've got the 2. Got Brest, Petrograd. See, nothing there. Pink, not looking good. Black or red, not looking great. White or orange, not looking great. And then Brest is 3 blacks. I'm going to go ahead and pull a black one, since I said I feel like you never can find those. And flip, okay. Here, flip it, okay. And retire to red. Okay, red's going to go with I'm going to keep building. So we're going to take those 2. And we'll put these here for black and black for so Venice to Rome. 2 more points for red. Red's gotten the lead here by 8 points. Then blue goes. And take 2 more. Flip and flip. Here and some pink, and we'll put black there. Okay, and then red. And I'm not playing great because like I said, I'm trying to play fairly fast here. So player mode to Moscow. Player mode to Moscow. Yeah, we just need some more guys. Amsterdam to Pamplona. We'll take those green. Okay. Red or blue. Now, as a blue player, I'm going to be concerned that red's either going to play here, here, or here. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to try to play these 2. I'm going to play 2 blue. And this is a tunnel here. So we're going to try, I've got to draw 3. And we flip them. Okay, and there was no blue. So we can discard that. And these cards stay the same, but we lose a turn, basically, what happens. Okay. Red is trying to figure out what to do. I think I'll take these 2. Use that on some grays. Flip and flip. Okay. We retire blue, and blue gets to go. We'll do the same thing. We'll try to make that tunnel. We'll try to block that tunnel. I pull 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And we flip it, and we did get a blue. So this time we do discard those, and we can discard 2 of these that we used. Discard those, and blue makes a tunnel. 2 points. So 1, 2. That blocks red. However, I don't think red's wanting to go that direction, but that's okay. We take out blue. Okay, retire red. And take this one, and I'll draw. Get another red. Okay. Oh, I forgot to give blue their 2 points. There we go. Retire blue. Pull these up. Oh, okay. Blue gets a. Blue will take it. And flip. And we need to retire this guy to red. Okay. Let's see where we've got Palermo to Moscow, which is okay because we can move around. Amsterdam to Pamplona. And Brussels to Danzig. Brussels to Danzig. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do put 1 in for the Amsterdam to Pamplona. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then red will put these 2. This won't alert blue to a lot. Okay, and we can discard those. Red gets 2 more points. Okay. Blue. I feel like blue's on the defensive, even though I've saved up all these cards. Okay, I think blue's going to get. We're going to go ahead and play these 2. And with these 2, I'm going to go here. Venice to Zagreb. This card, and that's for 2 points. Okay, so now actually that's kind of nice. That'll get me through here. Okay, red's going to go. Okay, so I've got the Amsterdam to Pamplona route. Pamplona. The Palermo to Moscow, which we blocked. And the Brussels to Danzig. Brussels to Danzig. Okay. I need a black. And I need another yellow. Greens, yellows, blues. Berlin's blue. Or 4 more of those. Okay. I'll draw a second one. Here, we flip it, and we get a yellow, okay? Okay, retire for blue gets to go. As blue, whoops. I've got London to Berlin. And I think I can do. We're going to do this. We're going to go here and here. And we are going to build the Berlin route. Okay. For 2 points. Red's going to go. And red sees the yellow routes looking good. Brussels is looking good. Okay. We're going to do the Amsterdam route. 1, 2, 3. That's good because that'll block blue if they're trying anything, which they probably are. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. Discard, and discard. Okay. And oh, and that was for 4 points. Reds gets 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retire for blue. Blue's going to be cursing red for blocking him. I think what we'll do, we're going to play this black one for 1. And blue's going to go right there. Okay. Red is going to go. And so red's been blocked on this, the Brussels to Danzig route. It's looking kind of rough. I think what we'll do, draw 2 cards. Okay. Blue gets to go. Now, blue is going to play these 2 green. And using those 2 green, I'm going to put right here, Brussels to Deep Bay? How do you pronounce the name of that city? Okay, 2 points up, and I used a green one there. Okay, so blue gets 2 more points. Okay, we go to red. Hopefully this isn't too much like watching paint dry. If it is, hey, put it on 1.75. Go through this faster. Okay. Could either play blue or green. I don't have blue or green. Or 4. So we'll just draw 2 more cards. Okay. And we retire to blue. Blue has done some blockage for Petrograd. I'll take these 2. Need another black one. Flip. Okay, there's the one. And we retire for red. Red is going to take this guy. I draw 2 cards. Or am I behind one? Okay. And we go back to blue. Blue has... Oh, I drew that black one by mistake in red. Okay. And that would have helped blue. So let's go back on that. I think I just absolutely accidentally did that. Let's send that to the discard pile. This guy here. Okay. Now then, let's replay that. Go back to blue. Now it's blue's turn. And blue's going to draw that black one, and they're going to draw a second card. And then we can refill this. Okay. Now we go red to red. Red goes. I could use it. I think I'm going to try to save my locomotives. But I think I'll play these 2. Discard. And red will move these 2 here and here. And goes 2 points here. Okay. Blue gets to go. And blue's going to play these 3. Brest to Paris. Let's send these to the discard pile. And so we've got Brest Paris. 3. And that's for 4 points for blue. Blue takes the lead. Okay. Red is going to play Palermo to Moscow. I need yellow. I need orange. I've got these 2 orange. Let's play these 2 orange here. 2 for 2. Discard, and we're gonna. The Moscow to Smolensk route is gonna open up. That kind of signals my intentions, but that's okay. Everybody's gone. Okay, I've moved forward 2. Okay, retire goes with blue. Blue's not making a lot of progress, but I can do the Brest 3, 4. Gives me a lot of points too. So these 4 to build the Brest to Warsaw route for blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll discard these, and that puts blue ahead 7 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Retire red goes. Looking a little short on points. I could play red, I could play white. This is a nice lot of points right there. I think I'll see what I can do about saving up for that. Flip, flip. Okay. Blue goes. And we need to use these 2. 1, 2. Okay. And then red goes. I could use these reds, so I'll take those. Okay. We retire, and blue gets a locomotive. If they want it, of course I want it. Okay. Red goes. I think red's just going to need to be building up cards right now. Let's just take 2 cards. Flip and flip. Oh, got some ones. Okay. Blue will go. And I think blue is going to play 2 cards and a locomotive. They can do that. So these 2 cards and a locomotive. Send those to the discard. And with those 3 cards, I get to move across the channel to London. Okay, 2 cards and locomotive. That's for 2 points for blue. And then we retire for red. Red will draw 2 more cards. 1, 2, flip and flip. Okay. Okay, blue gets to go. Blue's a little short on cards, so let's just pull 2 more off. Flip and flip. Okay, red goes. I think I have enough for these 3. And that's going to be red. It's going to go here and here and here. I hope that's red. One thing about this game, whoever came up with the colors, this is true of the American one too, is that the colors for folks that are colorblind, they have a terrible time. I have a friend that I've played this game with, and he's terribly colorblind, and we have to use the symbols because otherwise he can't see these worth a darn. Even folks that I know that are don't have a lot of problems. Sometimes have an issue with that. Okay, 3 for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Blue goes. And blue is in a situation. I need to get moved through here. I guess we'll pull cards. 1, 2. Basically, North Central Europe. They need to control. Okay, red goes. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. This is one of my easier train games. I'll be trying to hit some of the major ones in the next few weeks, so hopefully you'll see some stuff you like. This isn't really a hardcore train game, but I guess it's more of a train-themed game. It's not like 18XX or Age of Steam, but okay. Tire blue. Blue is looking for blue and here, and we will flip that one. Or whites, okay. Retire red. Red will pull 2 more cards. Let's see. Red's trying to get through. Let's do this. 1, 2. I forgot to replenish here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Flip, 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 and flip. Okay. Blue goes. Blue, are you got anything you can do, blue? Let's see, London to Berlin. Oh, okay. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of this black card. Let's get rid of the black one. And we are going to put a station in right here in Amsterdam. And that can discard that. And now that I have that, I think we've got London to Berlin pretty much pegged. Yeah, London, there's our station, and then Berlin. So we'll just put that over here. Nobody needs to be any the wiser. I still feel like we're fairly early in the game. I feel like I could probably next turn get some more cards. So we'll do that. Okay, let's go with red now. Red's strategy is to build this tunnel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there we go. So to build the tunnel, we draw 3 cards, and one needs to be orange or peach. Flip them, nothing. Okay, so discard. Okay, we go back to blue. I think blue's going to pick up some more of these, so we pull 3. Now I do have to keep one of them, so we flip them. London to Vienna. Wien, yeah, we want Wien. I want the Wien one. You know, okay. Barcelona to Brussels. I think I'll get rid of that one. Roma to Smyrna. Nope. London to Berlin. Oh, that was the one we just already had. Okay. So we're keeping London to Wien. Okay, red. I think I'll try it again. I'll try these 3. 1, 2, 3. Flip. Oh. Okay. And this is where these cards go crazy. I don't know what's going on with that. Can I flip? I can't. First that? There we can. Okay. That was red. Okay, we're back to blue. Blue gets a, let's see, the Wien route. I need 3 green Wiens. I need 3 green Wiens. So we'll go 1, 2, flip, and flip. There's my green Wien. Okay, back to red. Red goes. I'm going to do it again. Just going to do it till we make it. Flip. Okay, this does count because the locomotive counts. So we can discard that, and we can discard all of these cards. And then we can put these guys in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that 6 is going to be worth, is that 15 points? Let me push in here a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so that means red's got another 15 points. That puts him at 35. And yeah, this one up here, Stockholm to Petrograd's a really good one. But okay. Then we retire and go to blue. And blue's going to play the 3 green wings. 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. We'll discard those. And blue gets 3 for 4. Okay. We retire with red. And red is going to get rid of this blue card and play a station. So now I've got Palermo to Moscow. I think that's done. Discard that. Check our guys here. Palermo to Amsterdam or Pamplona. Okay, Palermo to Moscow. Yeah, that one's done. We'll push that one across. I think I'll work on these. Danzig to Brussels. Okay. Not. Oh, okay. That's not going to be doable here unless I play a. I can't play a station there. Blue's got that station back blacked out. So. Okay. That card may be a problem. Might be able to go across here and then around over here. Wow, that's going to be hard to get to Danzig. Okay. Let's retire and go to blue before I lose my train of thought too much. Blue's going to draw, let's see. Got that one. Brest Petrograd. God. Still a ways up there. Need some blues, and I need some. Oh, let's draw this guy. Flip. Okay. Red. Brussels to Danzig. I will take this blue, and I'll take this blue. We'll put this guy here and this guy here. Okay, and then blue will retire to blue. Blue is going to try. Going to play these 3, and that would put us from Paris to Frankfurt. 2, 3. Discard those guys, and blue goes ahead for 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Retire to red. And red at this point is going to play these 2 blue. And we're going to go red here too. Two. Okay. Discard. Discard. Blue. I need either black or red or pink. Okay, there's a pink. I'll take a pink. And we'll take a surprise one. Flip this. Okay. And we retire to red. Amsterdam to Pamplona. Okay, let's play this one. And red's going to get these greens here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that 4 puts us at 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, I see what I can do here. I can move back. Fire. Blue. What's blue going to do? Rest Petrogod. Okay. Need a blue. And I need a... Oh, we'll draw. Need to draw another. There we go. Yellow. Okay. Okay, we go to red. Red's going to... I want a white. I wonder what happened to my red hand. And a flip. Okay. Retire to blue. Blue is going to take this red and take a unknown card. I need to get 2 of these instead of flip and flip. Okay. Back to red. And I'm like a terrible player on these games because this is how a lot of times our games end up when I'm playing with friends. I'm a very social gamer, and the thing that I see a lot of times that happens is we just get to yakking and then we forget who went where and stuff. So that's okay. That's if you like that kind of gaming, that's fine. You got to be careful. Like again, if you're playing a tournament game or something, you want to definitely put your mind in the game. So okay, there we go. Those 2, and that gives us 2 more points. Blue is, we're going to retire to blue. And blue is in a situation where they need a 3 reds. 1, 2, 3. And that'll be here. And there's a lot of choices you have here. I mean, you could play an offensive or more of a defensive game where you're trying to block your opponent quite a bit. That's certainly very viable. Okay, retire to red. This is the only 2 I've ever played is the American one and... Okay, retire to red. Red's turn. What are you going to do, red? I think I'm going to play this. I'm going to play these 3. And just to be a jerk, I'm going to go here, here, here. And we're going to discard that. That's worth 4 points for red. And that makes things a lot harder for blue. They're going to have to spend a station. Okay, blue. I'm going to take a blue, and we're going to take a wild card. Okay. Red is going to go... I need just to draw cards. Build up my stash a little bit. Okay, we go with blue. One, 2. That's what I need right there. Okay, fire with red. And red's just going to draw 2. Generally, it's better to probably draw the 2 anonymous cards than these unless you have really a plan. So, and then these usually can finish out your hand a little bit. Okay, blue is going to play 1, 2, 3, 4. For 1, 2, 3, 4. And discard. And that's going to be 4 for 7 points. Okay. Now red is going to realize, I think, I'm going to play this defensive. Okay, hold on. They can go through there, there, there. Oh, okay. I don't think they actually blocked them here so much because yeah. Okay, red, what do you got? Yeah, I was going to try to block, but with a station, if I put a station, red put a station there, that would block blue from going through there, but blue can still go. They could, well, they can't go through here. Yeah, okay, they could go through here and then pop there. Yeah, they could. That could get them through. If they did 1, 2, 3. I think as red, I am going to put a station here. And that should block blue from going that direction. Red needs to get rid of a card. Discard that one. Okay. Blue is going to figure out. Things are a little tougher. So as a blue, I'm going to play this pink card and put a blue in here. Discard the pink card and gets me a 1 point for blue. Okay. And as blue, I can now go Brest to Petrograd. I think I go here and then back up here, here, here. I can use my station to jump to here and then on a Petrograd. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Yay. Now, red goes. Red, let's see, red, what do you got? Brussels to Danzig? Oh, I still got that Brussels to Danzig route. Let's see, Brussels. Okay, red, you can go through here and here. You're going to have to put a station there. Well, no, you can go right on through. I need 4 guys that are the same color, though. 1, 2, flip and flip. And then what was the other? The Amsterdam to Pamplona. Amsterdam to Pamplona. I could go here and around and then down. And that one's actually already done. Okay. And we're getting pretty late in the game to draw more cards. So, okay, now we're tired. Losing my train of thought. Blue has. At this point, I think with blue, I want to just extend routes a little bit. Particularly red. Hold on, I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. With these 4, I can go Moscow to Kharkov. Oops, nope. I'm blue. I'm not red. Cards. Got to find a place where I can look for a route that I can extend. Need either white. That would be a nice one right there. Or if I had a red or white there, that would be great. Orange doesn't look bad here. I can play these 2 orange. And gives me a blue and a blue. At least it'll give me some points. 2 more points. That means we're tied up. Most of these games end up pretty close. I've never really seen a lot of blow-up games with these. Okay. He doesn't have a really great hand here, so we'll pull 2 more. Flip and flip. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. We retire to blue. And blue is going to play... I'll draw 2. Okay. Okay, red. We're going to go with red. And red's going to play... I'm going to draw 2. That's the last card. Flip. Okay, there's the 4 that I need. Okay, now then, these guys, let's see, 100. I think this will work. I'm going to move these guys all back down here and reverse them. Yeah, these, I think, like I said, there's a glitch here. It's okay. Okay, now with that blue, red just drew, so blue will go. And blue is going to draw 2. 1, 2. Okay, that's the red I need. Okay, we go with red. And red's going to finally get to play Glenn Danzig here. 4. Red, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Throw those in the discards. And we can go with blue gets to go. Blue's going to play this 1 red card. And it's going to go right here. Point. Okay, red gets to go. What do you got in your hand, red? I'm down to 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can make a route and end the game. Trying to see if I can extend anybody anywhere. Red, no blacks. Those 2. Man, if I could connect up here. Let's see what I can do. Okay, white and white. 2 whites. Put 2 more, and that's going to actually end the game here. Once we're down to 2, that's all we can do. And 2 more points for red. Now blue gets 1 last shot at something. Let's see what we got in our hand here. Okay, I do have that. Got those yellows. That could play. That's about the furthest I'm going to be able to go. Hold on. I just saw something. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 4 here goes 1. Riga to Petrograd. 4. Okay. Discard, and that's going to give me 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Puts me behind by 1. Okay, and that ends the game. Now we need to figure out points. So I'm going to do that real quick here. Okay, figuring out points. First of all, we started out with blue. And blue had 3 cards that they played. London to Wien, Brest to Petrograd, and London to Berlin, which was a total of 37 points, which they were able to make. I checked all those out. Also, blue had 2 stations left for 4 each, or 8 points. And then finally, they had the longest route. They had 25 of these that went around here, and here, and then up and back. And you can't count over here because they had to go through a station, and that doesn't count for your longest route. So that is blue. Now, red had, let's go with their cards here. Red had 3 cards. They had Brussels to Danzig, which they were able to do. They had Amsterdam to Pamplona, which they were able to do. But I realized that the player mode at Moscow, if you look here, during play, I forgot to put a station in. So basically they get up here, they can skip this, but when they get to here, they can't get through. I forgot to either build that route or put a station in. If I would have done that, that would have made a huge difference. So they would have got those 20 points, but instead they lose the 20 points. So for the tickets, they're at -4. They were left with one station for 4 points, so that's 0, and they didn't get the longest, so they had 0 points. So blue wins this, let's see, was it 55-0. So that's it. I've done that before, where I get to playing and then I forget about a station that I want to put in because I'm trying to fool the other player, and I don't do it. So anyway, that's what I got. Good game. I kind of like this. It's a lot of fun. And I would say this one, if you have more experienced players, I would play Ticket to Ride Europe. If I was playing with beginners or younger folks, I would just go with the Ticket to Ride, the normal one, because it's a great intro game, and I pretty much can teach it to about anybody, and they pick it up and enjoy it. So that's what I got for the week. I sure appreciate you guys watching. More train games coming out this month. Probably going to get Railways and Robber Barons, 1830, and then probably Steam. I'll try to get that one in too, because I'm going to a Steam convention in November. So have a good one, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.